How you doing, vinyl community and YouTube universe? Just that I start this video saying happy birthday to Miyazaki. There are a couple of his films. His films usually have an amazing scores. I've been trying to grab those vinyls for a while now, but they're very pricey. So I just want to wish everyone a happy 2020, and this is going to be a vinyl tag 2020 video answering 20 questions, and hopefully under 20 minutes. So I have a couple of questions here to answer, and let's get started. First question for number one is best find of 2019. This is an album by a band called As It Is. They used to be called, I believe the first name was Help. Then they changed their name. I believe they were having issues by another band named Help. So they changed their name to As It Is, and they titled the record Help. Amazing album. So happy to have this finally. This is Christian psychedelic rock. Highly recommended. Next question is your favorite album from 2019. I'm gonna go with Bethel Music Victory, which came out early 2019. Next asked another question was Novelty Record. I'm just gonna go ahead and show this Incredible Hulk record from, I believe this is maybe from the 70s. Double check on this. There's no date on this, but here's the front cover, and here is the back cover. Preband Records. See that there. So that's the one I have for number 3. Number 4 was to show a record with the Homage cover, and have the Sesame Street Fever, which pays homage to the Saturday Night Fever record. Gatefold, so you can see there Grover dancing. Amazing puppets there. The next question was to show a B-side or a deep cut. I'm gonna go with the 7-inch by Def. There's 2 songs, and the B-side that I'm gonna really recommend is this song called We're Gonna Make It. I believe it's one of the last songs that David Hackney recorded in '92, and I believe he passed away early 2000. I just saw the documentary of a band called Def, and it was just a great insight into the band. Highly recommended if you are into punk rock music. The next question was show something funky. This is one of my latest jazz jams that I've played. So this is Ramsey Lewis, Don't It Feel Good. Really love the Ramsey Lewis work that he's put out. This was, unlike his other stuff, this was actually a really funky record. So I'm just gonna go ahead and include this one for that question. The next question was show some records that are weird shelf buddies. I have some sections in my collection which I organize separately. Like I have my new vinyl finds in a separate shelf. My upper shelves up here are all my jazz records, and pretty much all these half of this section here, 3/4 of this section is all my gospel records, and everything else is pretty much your punk rock regular albums. So I looked into my main section, and you know, I was wondering what was next to Pink Floyd, since that's my favorite band, and I just thought that was interesting. The Platters, right next to this Pink Floyd record. So just wanted to include that for that question. It's a little weird. Number 8 is I Was There, a band I've seen live, and I try to always see this band when they come to town. This is Interpol Marauder. This is their latest album, and I did go see them when they were last here in LA in October. This came out in late 2018, I believe. Yeah, late 2018, because they released an EP in 2019, and then they were on tour. So I did hop on board to go see them. As always, when this record was released, they had one show in LA, which they were going to play at the El Rey Theater. And if you ever been to the El Rey Theater, that's a really small theater, and just the sound is really good if you're ever going to see a band there. So tickets unfortunately got sold out like that in a few seconds. So wasn't able to go ahead and see them there, but I did get to go see them at the Hollywood Bowl. The tickets were a bit pricey, but still, it's always a great joy to go see Interpol live. The next question is, show an album you wish you had an OG copy of. I wish I had an OG copy of this record. This is the Search Party, Montgomery Chapel. It's another Christian psychedelic record from the 60s, I believe. Can't remember the date. This record came out early 70s, late 60s. Marvelous record. Wish I had an original. This was a repress. I believe they repressed this twice. They might have repressed it once. Anyways, they repressed this in the early, maybe 2000s, late 2000s. According to this, they only pressed 300. I have copy 44 out of 300. But this record goes for a lot of money if you had an OG copy of this. But I'm happy with what I have, and was really lucky actually to go ahead and grab this while I could. Next question was to show a discography that you own, and then one of my favorite artists is Keith Green. This is his first record that he put out. I Only Want to See You There. Back. And actually last year I got really lucky that I was at the store checking out their records, and they had pretty much all the records that I was missing from my collection, so I was able to pick the rest of my collection. I do have some CDs from Keith Green, but I was really happy to go ahead and complete the discography for Keith Green. And then this record I have been wanting for a while, and prices were pretty not great on Discogs or anywhere else I was looking at. So Keith Green, amazing artist with a tragic death. Yeah, I was very happy to come up on those records. The next question was to show a unique center label, and I'm gonna show the label for this record. This is from the Christian Troubadours, and this is a recent find actually, and I really love this label. Go ahead and take it out so you guys can see the label. The record label's Vision Records, and then has that beautiful, seems to me like a world, and there's a man just kneeling, his hands together, praying. Beautiful, beautiful label. The next question is, show a record that is pre-band that features someone who went on to become famous. And I'm going to show this John Coltrane record, Sonship, just because the lineup on here, I think anybody who played with John Coltrane just kind of blew up in the jazz scene after his death. So Elvin Jones is on this record. He's a legend, as well as McCoy Tyner is on this, and Jimmy Garrison on the bass. So Sonship is the record I'm going to be using for that question. Next, they wanted some recommendations for the vinyl tag. And it's either a musical, book, and either slash movie you'd recommend. So I'm an avid reader, so I have a bunch of stuff to show you guys. So let's start with the recommendations. This is kind of like a memoir of Brian Head Welch, which is one of the lead guitarists from the heavy metal band Korn. Basically tells his life and transition from being in the band Korn, and how he encountered God and became Christian, and then the struggles and life right after that. There's a couple of books he wrote after this one, which are really great as well. Next one I have, I Do Love Poetry. This is Jim Morrison. This is volume 2, called American Night. I still am on the lookout for an American Prayer, but this is a great insight into the poetry of Jim Morrison. So I have that one, and this is a current book that I'm reading. This is Your Brain on Music. Just gives you insight on the science of music, and basically the guy who was writing the book kind of tells, first is starting to tell his background on how he got into music, and how he enjoyed music while growing up. So far, that's kind of like what I gotten from it. This is my beginning read that I have started. I started late December, so I'm hoping to get through it next month or so. One of my goals this year is to go ahead and read a book, one book a week, and I've done that before, and I just thought I might just have to start again and give myself that challenge. So let's move on to the next question. They want us to show an underrated album. Thinking now underrated album is this album here. This is King's Kaleidoscope, Beyond Control. This is a track list on the back. This is a band that came out of Seattle, Washington, from a church called Mars Hill. And yeah, it's a beautiful cover, beautiful documentation of really heartfelt and kind of searching and processing just your faith. So this album actually got a lot of, I think it's this one, I haven't listened to it in a while. It came out in 2016. Great album. They got a lot of kind of negative publicity or backlash because one of the songs, it's actually a song that's a prayer, and in that prayer, he uses like the F word once in the song. So a lot of people in the community, Christian community, kind of gave it a bad rep. I thought that it was interesting, but the album and everything they've put out has been just amazing, and even seeing them live is powerful. So I'm gonna go ahead and use that record, King's Kaleidoscope. The next question is, show a band that's consistently good. I'm gonna go ahead and show Snow Patrol. This is their latest album. I thought this was a 2019 release. It's actually 2018. I remember when this came out, and I was watching it was a mini documentary about just the process of the album and the process of the songwriting. And I remember when this was posted as the new album coming out, I was really excited, because I believe they went maybe 5 years, if not longer, without putting out an album. So Snow Patrol, love to see them live at some point, but haven't yet, so hopefully they'll come to town soon. The next question is, show an album with the same album but different cover. And I have another Keith Green album. This is So You Want to Go Back to Egypt. This is the same record, but this is the first cover, and this is the other cover. This is the back cover for the first one. I believe this is the original cover that came out, and then this is the back for the second one. And I like both. I really like this back cover though. It's beautiful. Let's move on to the next question. An album you bought cheap and worth a lot of money, and it's like my number one grail. This is Rich Mullins, Pieces of the Sky. I made a video about this, including this record a while back during the summer. What an amazing album to be holding in my hands. So I was really happy. I was on the lookout for this album for years, and I never saw it go down from $100, $90. Last time I saw it was like $60 on Discogs, the copy that I saw on there. And then it miraculously popped out on Amazon, and I jumped on it. So happy to have that one. Show your favorite drummer. I'm actually gonna show this record. Is As I Lay Dying, and the drummer is Jordan Mancino. He has been with As I Lay Dying. He's also been with other bands. He's covered in for the drummer for Killswitch Engage, and a few other bands he's played with. On Earth. Great drummer. I mean, this is one of the best sounding drums on a record I've ever heard. Has to be on my top 10 albums. And my other favorite drummer is Keith Banks, from the Hispanic worship band from Marco Barrientos. Amazing drummer. Let me see if I can go and grab it. So this is Marco Barrientos, and this is the album Illumina. Keith Banks is on this record. I showed this album a few months back. Amazing drummer. Don't have a record because this band does not put out any vinyl records. They only put out stuff digitally and on CD. But this is probably one of my top 5 drummers of all time, if not one of the best. Next question is show some albums that are turning 20 this year in 2020. I have a couple, unfortunately only on CD. I was looking through my collection and I only have records from 1999 and some records from 2001, and for some reason I don't have anything from 2000. And I know there's a few records that came out in 2000 that I'm hoping to get, but they're pretty pricey, so I've been watching the prices on those on Amazon, and some records are just I haven't ran across them. So I'm sure show a couple of CDs. First one is the band Thrice, their first album, their debut album. This came out in 2000. This is actually a reissue when they signed to this Subsidy Records. They reissued it in 2001. This is available on vinyl, but it's going for $100 right now. So I'm gonna wait until either there's a sale going on or they do another reissue for that record, which since it's a 20-year-old record, they might be doing a reissue. And then this, I don't show a lot of hip hop, but this is the Unbound Project Volume 1. This came out in 2000. This has been one of my favorite hip hop records of all time. It's actually a compilation, and it has it's social conscious hip hop, and there's a few tracks that have Mumia Abu Jamal on there, and he's just speaking truth. So this is one of my favorite albums of all time. I thought it wasn't available on vinyl, and I just recently went on Discogs and it's available, so I might be able to get this on vinyl. It's actually a double LP. But let me go ahead and put here track list so you can go ahead and check it out, who's on there if you're interested. So the Unbound Project Volume 1 came out in 2000. It's turning 20 this year. And the last question is show a trilogy of albums of an artist that has 3 solid albums. I'm gonna go with the Gaslight Anthem. These guys have put out amazing work. I'm gonna say that probably their last record that they put out, Get Hurt, was probably their weakest. I read an article from Brian Fallon answering questions. I believe it was like a 10-year kind of review of your career, and he talked about the records, and I think he did mention that the last one they put out was kind of, he feels it's kind of like the weakest album. But they released this one, then they released American Slang, and then the other record I only have on CD right now, handwritten. Powerful albums, back to back, just amazing work. So those are all the 20 questions. I want to give a shout out to all the new subscribers, to all the new friends out there in the YouTube universe, and anybody else who just stumbled across this video. I want to wish you guys the best of the best for 2020, and just wish you many blessings. I will hope to see you pretty soon. I have a couple of videos that I'm working on mentally, and then hopefully be putting it out physically in the near future. So hope you guys had a great week here for 2020, and just want to say I hope you're doing great. Hope you're in peace with yourself, peace with others, in good health, and just God bless you, and I'll see you on the next one. Firmes y adelante.